So, like, because I've been on the other side of this, and where you've hit me up for questions, you know, like, so who did you guys hit up?
I didn't.
All right,
I thought you
I
guys.
was just
I
like
knew,
wondering.
me and Jimmy talk every once in a while, and I know just by doing this, I don't
when
really
he told me you were coming on, I'm like, I already got a million.
He literally, I can show you the text. He said, it took me 5 minutes. I'm already prepared.
Yeah,
that's what he said about you two guys.
Like I was thinking, like everyone at this table has kind of been sponsored. Were you ever like sponsored or flowed from anyone?
No, I sucked.
I mean, so did I, but I managed to work it out.
No.
Who were your sponsors? Because I think like if we listed all our funny East Coast sponsors.
Do you want to know like the first like legit Zipperhead skate shop? Zipperhead.
Yeah.
Like they had a skate shop. So I don't know. Zipperhead was like legit because the Dead Milkmen sing about it in Punk Rock Girl. So that was like my first official.
Is that a town or something?
Zipperhead was a shop that sold like punk rock t-shirts, Doc Martens, and like Manic Panic. And then it had like a skate section. So one of my friends managed the shop, and so I was like one of the team riders.
Around that time, I had this much thought that I might have a career as a skater. It lasted for like a week. Like maybe I could be a pro skater, you know? And then I had to come to that realization of staying in school and admitting to myself. But I look at you, especially like you went further than any of us ever did. Like you were like a legit filming parts. What's it like with that decision to not pursue the skate career?
Well, here, like when I got on aesthetics, that was legitimately the only company I wanted to skate for. Like the pros, those were the guys I wanted to be like. I dressed like them. I wanted to do the same tricks, you know. And then we went to Zoo, and then you're like, it's a reality check on like the politics and business side. But at that point, I was still kind of too young to understand it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at everything from like a perfect world. What do you mean no one's getting along, there's business in the way? This is the coolest company ever. Can't we just figure this shit out?
Right.
You know, I didn't know what the relationship with the partners were like. And then KT calls me one night, yo, we're all going to Zoo. What are you gonna do, say no? So it was like, we all went to Zoo and then kind of had to put the pieces together later on. I knew a lot of the guys that were on the team, Zared, Akil, Harold, and you knew that part of them was like, yo, where's the guys that we were just teammates with? And although we love and respect all these new guys, this is still kind of, business has this whole shit.
That was like a weird phase for Zoo.
It was
and then not too long after, didn't they kick a bunch of dudes off anyway?
It was
or a bunch of dudes leave?
Slowly but surely they kind of like picked apart people like, oh, this guy's been hurt, you gotta go. It was drama. It was definitely drama. It was weird.
But it's got to feel good now. All right, it didn't last that long. It ended weird, but it's got to feel good, validating now, or good that all these people are looking back on it like it was this great thing, not a failure or like some weird thing, you know.
I know for me, it's something that I like hold very close to myself, and I'm very proud of. And like, you know, it's 2017, and I'll promote this shit like the ads are like fresh in the magazine, because to me it's still relevant, still cooler than 90% of the shit you see nowadays, you know. 95% of it, you know.
Right.
Well, I think it stood out because that was when aesthetics was cranking. It was like Zero and Baker, and we were coming out of like swishy pants and like the more sort of like hip-hoppy
holding on.
No, I know.
Like, we were like, nah, we're not. This is not dying. Like, we're still stuck in this.
I got hired at Aesthetics like a year before these guys moved, so I was the team manager for Aesthetics in Elwood, and I was left in the dark when these guys went dark for like that 2 weeks, and I didn't know what the hell was going on. And the next thing you know, all these dudes went to Zoo, and I was like stuck, still at Aesthetics. And then like the two owners that were still there are like, okay, now rebuild this shit, go find us a new team. And I'm like, what?
How long did that last?
It never got rebuilt.
It never even started.
It basically, from there, I went to Listen.
Didn't Brian Brown left Zoo for Listen too, right?
Brian left Zoo, but I think because all you guys came over.
No, he stuck around for a little bit.
Yeah, but I think he said it was a little weird, man.
It did,
He told me it was a little weird. I think Brian had the bail on that.
I forgot about So who was Listen originally?
But I think the original team was just Danny Montoya, Rob Gonzalez, Brian Brown, and Rodrigo Peterson.
That kid from Mexico City?
Gabriel De La Mora
he
was like
gnarly.
the first one we put on.
That kid was really good.
He was another dude that just sent like a bunch of like sponsor me footage, and at the time he was living in Santa Ana, And I was like, oh, he's close by. Like I go out and film with him. And then as soon as he got on, he moved right back to Tijuana. And so I had to go to Tijuana all the time just to film with him, and like just all over random parts of Mexico. Like his whole listen part, there's only one trick in the States. Everything else is in Mexico. He lived in this neighborhood super close to the border, and there was all these like little dips in the street. And I was like, what the hell's up with this neighborhood? Then one night I just see this police chase. And it's like, oh yeah, man, there's like drug runners and all kinds of shit because we're super close to the border. And like and then from that moment, I would always see like some sort of police chase, and it looked like a movie because the cars are like catching air and like scraping like the street and stuff, and sparks are flying. And you're like, holy shit, it's wild here.
Do you judge too? I know you judge, but are you?
I have judged. Like they'll throw me in. I've judged like Dupont and.
Do you get people questioning you because of your opinions on your ability to judge objectively?
Vert dudes. I've had to judge vert contests. Vert guys are definitely a little bit more serious than street guys. Vert dudes will come hard. But it's like, come on, man. Like, I've been skating
You
for
judge
like,
vert contests?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
No, will they tell you, like, this trick is so much harder than that?
Do they think you don't know what you're
Yeah,
talking
they
about?
probably don't think I know what I'm talking about, even though, like, I've skated everything. Like, I can do, like, 5 tricks on vert, but I'm not going to do what they do. But vert dudes are a little bit more serious with the scoring than, like, street guys, it seems like. So.
But how do you dudes feel about that? Like, we all have opinions about skateboarding and who our favorites are. I mean, obviously, if I was judging Street League and I'm watching Austin or Dylan, I'm like, that's who I'm like into, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it possible to truly judge without any emotion? And if so, how do you go about it? Can you walk in there objectively? And it's not like a trick question to try to trap you. Like, how do you walk in there and erase everything you feel?
I think it's black or white. Your least favorite skateboarder can do something that's undeniable, and your favorite skateboarder can do something that just looks flat out gross.
Yeah, but in a street league that might not be as objective as like in a Tampa Pro or something that you might have judged, right? Like, is there a difference?
I've never judged a street league, and street league's different format, you know, because you're just judging like, except for the line section, that's the only thing that's like close, you know, because you guys are just trying to give like an instant score off of like some gnarly trick that, you know, 90% of us could never do like like that one try. So I think it's a little bit different. And like for judging runs, you know, it's just like you're looking for like style and like consistency. Like,
do you think one's more like? Do you think one's harder to judge than the other? Or is there one?
I probably wouldn't want that pressure of street league because I've been in those arenas where I hear like the boo if there's like a low score, and it's just like, damn man, I'm glad that's not me. Like this dude's in the hot seat.
Well, I think the biggest thing is like the same way like instant replay is massive in all pro sports now, and especially the way we're positioned. Sometimes you miss something. You know what I mean? It'll be the littlest thing. You don't see if like a blunt size booger slider. You know, Chris Cole, a tray flip onto the ledge, and from up there it looks like he's grinding it, but he's really riding on. So there's like small.
You guys have been called out on the live air too,
absolutely,
like, oh, they gave him a good score.
Personal, their friends will like at you and some shit. And
no, the announcers have. I watch them when I get home.
But sometimes the announcers are like friends with somebody, you know, like everyone's got their own little like
skating's
favorites,
almost like too interconnected.
You did a TM after the contest. Yo, can I talk to you for a second?
You know it's coming.
Well, that's with me in the contest I do. You have the TMs. I have like parents like, why did you judge my kid like so low? Why didn't my kid win? And it's like, how much do you know about skateboarding? Do you know like this trick is harder than this trick, or your kid toe dragged something, or
you guys need like a Secret Service to
like,
score you out.
Yo, when it comes down to it, it's similar. And I'm such a jock, so it comes down to
me too, man.
Like
we watch sports. Come on.
It's like it's almost a game of like inches. Because when it gets that close to the very what the fuck is the difference between Shane O'Neill switch big spin flip front boarding a rail and fucking Nija like Caballero like over front crook and some other shit, you know what I mean? Like they're both so gnarly. It's just like, you know, it just kind of comes down to how well they ride away, both of them.